Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for some more Call of Duty 3. Actually, I probably ought to turn the sound back on. The most annoying aspect of this game is the fact that, there we go, we got sound. The most annoying aspect of this game is that whenever you want to come back to play it, what ends up happening is you have to sit through the same goddamn cutscenes again. And I'm doing adequate. Not great, not great, not terrible. That is a meme I absolutely love, where they have like Homer AI. They basically use some sort of weird AI program to make Homer speak some lines from the Chernobyl series. It's like, the only time Homer actually sounded like a nuclear safety technician. But yeah, you have to listen to like the cutscenes over and over again on this game if you want to actually reload a save. I don't know why COD games like to do that. I guess because that's like the loading screen or something. But still, very annoying. Especially if you don't really feel like listening to the bloody thing. Yeah, today I went to the range, and it was actually kind of funny. The dichotomy between the two firearms I used could not be more stark. You've got a super modern AR-15 and a Argentinian high power. I mean, Argentinian high power is just pure sex in pistol form, and well, an AR is an AR. It's accurate, reliable, and all the rest, even if it is pretty boring. I mean, I quite like shooting the M1 Garand, but I don't like paying for the ammo. $5 a goddamn bullet. I don't think it's actually $5 a bullet, but it's still very expensive in comparison. Oh yeah, it is Friday the 13th. I mean, that's kind of fitting. I mean, today hasn't been the best of days. It's been kind of the unlucky day, but whatever. It's Friday. I actually have the weekend off. Oh my god, it's like I'm a normal human being. And I'm going to be heading off to a local con tomorrow, actually, dressed up as the Batman. It's more of a classical Bronze Age style of costume, although a bit more armored than what you would have seen back then. I'm a big fan of the Bronze Age, just because it's got some silliness and it's got a lot of seriousness to it. Like Batman trying to solve the murder of an old jazz man. It's actually kind of crazy when you think that some of the old jazzmen would have actually been alive in the 70s. And Batman's talking about how he used to listen to the old 45s. And for those who don't know what 45s are, it's not the bullets, although it's kind of funny that that has endured much longer than the sound medium, but 45s are a type of record. 45 revolutions per minute. Although I'm sure there's probably some vinyl audiophiles in the audience. I honestly don't care. I'll listen to things in MP3 format. I can't tell the difference. I mean, you can kind of tell the difference between that and FLAC, but it's not worth it to me. Went to a restaurant in Denton, which was north of Elm Street. Oh my god! Now wait a minute. Did Freddy fight Mike or did he fight Jason? I can never remember. And that's how you make horror movie fans really annoyed at you. I mean, I know the difference, but I just think it's hilarious. I actually like the Halloween theme a lot more than I like any of the other themes, though. Specifically Halloween 2's theme. I absolutely adore that theme. I think when it comes to those horror movies, though, none of them were ever that great, and none of them had the staying power. Quite unlike, goddammit. Yep, I'm gonna die. Yeah, they were shooting over the top. Quite unlike, you know, Star Trek, when you consider that Star Trek is still going strong 50 years after it came out. Can you imagine that? Has any other franchise had that staying power? 50 years. You know, and now it's actually good again. I mean, Strange New Worlds is remarkably not terrible. In fact, I would actually, dare I say, it's good. Been watching it. The second I finished watching the second episode today, and it's actually Star Trek. It's not stupid. But I guarantee you, people are gonna come. Oh God, no! Run, Dixon, run! It's not time for you to die yet. I mean, let's face it. We all know that technically everybody in this game is already dead, or really, really old. But yeah, Strange New Worlds. We've got a typical Star Trek plot. I mean, the biggest problem with STD, other than the fact that it had no characters, no plot, no motivation, and a absolutely atrocious art design, was the fact that it was just war, and that was it. Whereas Strange New Worlds isn't. It's like, oh, they go to one planet that is experiencing a civil war. They go to the next planet, it's got a comet about to hit it. It's like, that's Star Trek. Mike Myers to fight Pinhead. New Jersey. For a Comic Con. HV Comic Con next Saturday. Also a cosplay contest. Fake news. Yeah, Alex Kurtzman is pretty bad. I don't know if I have really any advice for going to a con other than just don't be creepy and have fun. If you want to do cosplay, learn to cut foam or have a lot of money. That's really the only advice I can really have. Or have a 3D printer, that too. Because, like, for me, I just dress up and walk around. That's about it. Oh my god, he's got a knife! Imagine if I was waggling a Wiimote. Where are the rest of my squad? Why is nobody paying attention to me? Don't you care? That's a really nice knife, though. That glass, not so nice. I think this is supposed to be a reference to the scene in Saving Private Ryan, where one of the crowds stabs a guy. Actually, it's a pretty intense scene, even though I'm not a big fan of Saving Private Ryan. Oh my god! Technically, there would be guts everywhere, and Nichols here would probably get nicked just a little bit by all that shrapnel, but whatever. Toy Store actually had for sale a '90s Cylon Raider. I bet that wasn't cheap. Am I stuck in the wall? Because I can't seem to be able to move. Yeah, I was stuck in the wall for a second. Apocalypse Now. You know, I don't think I've actually seen Apocalypse Now. I mean, I certainly know about it, but I don't think I've actually sat through the entire film. Stop telling me out of here already! So you're not the boss of me. But yeah, Strange New Worlds, pretty good. One of the things I really like, though, is Captain Pike just keeps ignoring the Prime Directive, because the Prime Directive was always shit. You know, most of TNG was completely disobeying it because it was so callous and horrible. And so it's like, I really enjoyed when Pike in the first episode was like, screw General Order 1. It's like, yes, thank you. And then, you know, in this next episode, it's like, well, you know, they won't know that we're here. No, actually, no. He actually has a really good line, now that I think of it. Where he's basically like, we're not going to let innocent people get killed. It's like, thank you. That's the idea of the Federation. That's the idea of Starfleet. It's defending life. You know, they kind of forgot about that when TNG came around. You shouldn't have to sign up, but then again, one of the things to understand about, like, going to a Comic-Con, though, is there's always going to be people there with more money than you. Meaning, of course, don't let yourself get too impressed with your own costume. There's always going to be somebody better that can spend like thousands of dollars on their costume, and yeah, there's that. But I'm actually I don't actually sign up for contests just because I'm not that competitive of a person when it comes to something like that. Although, in Dallas Fan Expo, which I'm going to next month, I am going to do the little red carpet thing. But that's free. So, and I don't really have any, like, con stories, because I've never been to that many. I've only been to a grand total of 3. Although, as of this year, I'm going to start going to a whole lot more. About the only thing I can say is the very first con I ever went to was really, really fun. It was, Space City Con 2013. Almost a decade ago. But it was very memorable because the people there were very nice. Actually got to talk about, like, nerd stuff, like X-Men and shit, And I wasn't the only one who liked Cyclops. It's like, it was like, yeah, Cyclops, he's the leader. He's like awesome. It's like, yeah, that's right. But going to those little conventions, it's cool to see people wandering around in their costumes and get your picture taken with them. It's like, it's a fun experience. That's really why I go to those things. Less to meet celebrities. Although, my very first con, I met some really cool celebrities. Robert Picardo and Tim Russ. I will always go on about those guys because they were awesome. They were just, you know, your typical working class kind of actors that, you know, they had a passion for what they did, but they also recognized that making money is good. So, and they were just a lot of fun to talk to. Your more higher class actors are a little bit more, you know, snooty, but that's to be expected. It's actually kind of crazy. When I met Tim Russ and Robert Picardo, they were actually working on a fan Star Trek series called Star Trek Renegades. I have not actually watched it, unfortunately, but you can find it on YouTube for free. I'm sure it's better than anything Alex Kurtzman came up with. Let's see. MagFest in 2015. 2015 does not seem like that long ago, but it really is. It's like 2015. That's like just a couple years ago, right? No, that was like almost 8 years ago now. I'm bad at math, especially when I'm trying to play a game. But yeah, on the subject of Star Trek, continuing, started reading a book called Captain's Oath. Oh! Don't stand next to an open window in a combat zone. Even I know that.
Damn it! Stupid, careless son of a bitch.
Yes, it was very careless.
Stay still.
Besides, it's not time for you to die yet. I mean, wait, no, he's not gonna die. MG42! I want one for real. It's like the barrels just burn out way too fast in this thing. To put, like, the price of a real MG42 in perspective, at one time, these things cost as much as a house. Thank you, NFA. Oh, they're always bleeding out. Or they're dying of syphilis. Wait, no. That's the fun disease, right? Dress up as a Pokemon Pikachu fanboy with a cap emo. That would be very, interesting. That'd be, see, like, you say that, that's supposed to sound weird. At Space City Con, there was literally a guy dressed up as Darth Vader in a, miniskirt. Like, he was completely bare-chested, but the miniskirt and the Darth Vader mask, it was great. So, you wouldn't look that weird if you dressed up like that. I'm just saying. Aurelia, Canada. Is that a DMC-12? Awesome. Play of Cyber Smoke. Those would be somewhat expensive, but you could do it. If you've got access to a 3D printer, a lot of that stuff is really easy, though.
Gear up. We're heading out. Out of here! Move! You
know that's like your favorite line. It's like your catchphrase. It's out of here, move. It's like he finishes having never mind. And also your hands are wrong. If you notice, the hands are modeled to be on a pistol grip, but the M1 Garand doesn't have a pistol grip like that, so oops. It's just kind of hilarious to see that. Let's see. X-Men 97 cartoon. All I can say is don't get your hopes up. Just don't. Just don't. Don't get your hopes up for any of that. It's either gonna be a bait and switch or woke as fuck. Or you might get lucky, like with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, where it's not woke as fuck and it's actually good. Considering it's Disney, though, just expect it to be terrible. Expect all your favorite characters to die in the first episode, or to be incapacitated, and you'll have the hip new team, or something like that. It's gonna be something terrible like that. Also, I'm gonna I won't spoil the Multiverse of Madness, but I saw a clip of that angered me to no end. Definitely Multiverse of Madness is a bit of a rage-inducing film if you like any characters other than the currently popular ones. Honestly, what an Elder Predator. Elder Predator. That guy just teleported in. I didn't know this was Wolfenstein.
Friggin' Krauts have our guns.
And not for long, they don't. Here's the situation. We're gonna try a pincer move here. One team will advance through those houses. Another will advance up the street. Team 3 goes through that yard there. Nichols, you take point.
Of course I take point. Now, how are you gonna shoot that rifle if you're not even holding it? And hello, Turok Fire Seed. The prices for the Predator costumes that I've seen will generally run you about $1,000 to $1,500. So, not exactly cheap, but that's because they're very elaborate costumes. Like, the more elaborate the costume, the more pieces there are, the more expensive you can expect to pay. Just because there is a lot going on there, and it's not exactly cheap to fabricate. You can actually get kind of lucky in terms of price if you get something that's currently popular. Like, for example, Master Chef. My Master Chef costume was remarkably inexpensive. Not cheap, but remarkably inexpensive because it was something that was pre-made or off the shelf, commercial off the shelf. That'll definitely cut down on price. Mando was actually not that expensive because it also is currently popular, so you can find stuff like that for cheap. But like Predator stuff, not cheap because there's not like any commercial off-the-shelf parts you can use. It's not like you can just go buy a biomask for like $100 like you can with the Mando helmet. But the more elaborate the costume you want, the more it's gonna cost you. So I work a lot of weekends to pay for shit like that, so there's that. My first ever con, I was much more, shall we say, of meager means at the time. So my costume was Captain Kirk, mid 23rd century, no, late 23rd century Captain Kirk. And so it was just a uniform. And even then, that wasn't exactly inexpensive, because the uniform was still $100. And if you want, like, any accessories, you gotta pay. Because, like, I had a tricorder and a phaser, and the phaser was, like, $40, and the tricorder was, I think, like, 20, so not cheap. That's just for a uniform. My recommendation, if you want a good, inexpensive cosplay costume that actually looks good and not something from Party City, Sergeant Denny! He's actually hurt! How can we have a Denny Anyway, Denny Crane aside. What you can do is go to a website called Cosplay Sky. It's a cheap Chinese website, but their costumes are very high quality for what they are. And you can get them for like $100 to $200. I think the most expensive one they had was like $300. You can get a Mando costume that looks remarkably good for that price. The old Greyback Elder. That is a pretty cool one. Smartphone app with heat vision. People dressed up as Terrence from the Mirror Universe. Yeah, they do that. I actually got my picture taken with some Klingons in Space CityCon 2013 dressed up as Captain Kirk. They had bathlets, full makeup. These people actually are the real fans. So, it's a lot of fun. It's like, if you are super nerdy, or, no, I don't even say super nerdy. If you just like stuff, if you like Star Trek, Star Wars, and stuff like that, going to a con is where you can be like, with your people, man. It's like, they are of my people. Because they know the good stuff. It's like, imagine a reenactment, but where you're reenacting science fiction. And that's kind of what you got. Or fantasy. Actually got me a resin phaser when I went to Space CityCon 2013. From Star Trek V. Say what you will about Star Trek V, but the phaser design was pretty awesome. Got some Star Trek ship designs from a friend. Hey, Kit Bash, you're fine. Peeps. Oh dear. Cause see, when I think of Peeps, I think of those nasty, out of my way, you idiots! Go! Move! If I hit one of these guys, they're gonna die. Oh man, come on. Come on, you can do it. Use the AI. I think they're trying to kind of get intimate with one another there, and it's like, get a room, you two. Oh, this is just embarrassing. Like, a part of me would want to use this in the video, but then I'd have to find this exact clip. Okay, come on. Oh, you almost made it! You almost made it, Dixon! Get out of the way! I don't- wait, maybe I'm not supposed to go over there. No, because this is an invisible wall. I can't climb over these boxes. Come on, did you do it? Did you do it? Oh, fuck it, I can't wait. Oh, you almost made it. Come on, Guzzo. Come on, you can do it. We're almost at the end of the level. That's the annoying part. Really? I just had to do that? I don't remember doing that when I played this. Come on, get out of the way! Good God. That's the only problem with the game, this heavily scripted. And buying stuff at Comic-Con, yep. Go to the con, would you be considered a con? Oh my God. Maybe. Although they primarily use, volunteers. The funny part about Comic-Con is I was watching a documentary on the Cold War, and evidently there actually were communist conventions called Comic Cons. No joke, literally Comic Con. And now if you go to one in California, it literally is a Comic Con, but anyway. I never actually go to panels either, because I really don't care what a lot of those people have to say. I know that sounds bad, it's like, I'm supposed to be like this great fan, but like, I don't really care to listen to people yammer on about crap that is all canned and doesn't really have much to do with anything. Why would I ever give up a Car 98K for an M1 Garand? How about I buy both? I mean, not that I'd ever do such a thing. And an M1 Carbine too. But I've always found the Texas cons to be pretty good. I know that there's probably been a lot of bad cons out there with con horror stories, but everything here has been great. Tomorrow, the Bedrock City Comic Con is going to be at a brewery of all things. So, we shall see how that turns out. I hope most of it's inside, because it's Texas, it's 90 degrees outside, and I'm dressed up as Batman. I actually tested my costume by walking around the neighborhood a little bit, because yes, I did that. And, yeah, it was, pretty horrible, actually. Because, like, that black cowl just conducts that heat right. It was miserable. It was terrible. It's almost as bad as last year's con, where I couldn't find the goddamn parking garage, so I just parked somewhere near the con, and I literally walked like 2 blocks in 90-degree heat in the middle of July, dressed up as the Mandalorian. And you know what? That Mandalorian costume was nowhere near as elaborate as the modern one that I have. But I did have on a rubber helmet, and that rubber helmet was death. It was just absolute death. But the thing about cosplay is it is an interesting feeling. It's a really cool feeling to be dressed up as like a character and actually look like that character and see yourself in the mirror. It's like, wait a minute, that's me. It's a cool feeling. Just don't let yourself get narcissistic about it, because it is just a costume. Future of gaming, Xbox showcase. The future of gaming is independent creators, because not everybody's going to want to do games as a service, which is slowly but steadily dying out. And I never really cared for the Xbox all that much, despite the fact that I'm playing on one. It's just like, meh. After the Xbox 360, I went strictly to PC and have stayed there. A Demon Carnotaurus figure, I've not seen that. Hit a wall at 40 miles an hour? Oh my God, that's not fun. Man, I haven't gone go-karting in over 2 decades now. That was it? Guzzo, you're not gonna give us a speech?
All right, on me, form up. All right, good work.
Dixon, battalion, on the radio.
Dixon. Okay, I'll tell them. Yes, thank you, sir. I got some good news and bad news for you boys. Canadians have taken the Laison River. The Poles have moved into Vimoutier to the north. Bottom line, Jerry's boxed in pretty good. We got him falling back towards Chambois.
So what's the bad news?
Chambois is where we're going next.
That's actually a pretty good line.
It's suicide. We don't have the manpower.
With backbone like that, it's hard to believe your country ever surrendered.
It's not a question of backbone. In all likelihood, your Major Ingram is dead.
Forget likelihood. If there's a snowball's chance in hell he's alive, I'm getting him out.
There isn't, and you'd be killed too.
Not just me, Frenchie. Doyle's coming with me. Let's go, Doyle.
Hey, don't bring me into this. I had to survive a game before this.
I don't know what you're saying.
Hey, don't speak no languages. This isn't a bad mission. The only problem I have with this is the driving segment is just really kind of awkward.
Like it or not, we can't afford to add you and Doyle to our losses.
Went to Florida. One day I do want to go to Florida, just because, well, Florida man and all. Oh my god, the muzzle flash! My retinas are melting as we speak! See, I never wanted to go to Disneyland. I think I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I wanted to go to the Star Trek experience, and that's been closed for over a decade now. Because Disneyland, Disney World is lame. At least it is to me. Going to the fucking Star Trek experience? I got a poster from 1997 when it opened. And I still want to go. I think there's some fans trying to recreate it or something. The closest I ever got to the Star Trek experience was, once again, Space City Con 2013, because the Enterprise D bridge was actually rebuilt there for a little bit. I got my picture taken on it, which was like the most awesome thing ever. Because the Big D is probably my favorite Star Trek ship, second only to maybe the original Constitution class. Oh, there went that ragdoll. Indiana Jones game being done by the Wolfenstein developers. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just hope Indiana Jones is not replaced by his female counterpart. Because you never know these days. They bait and switch that shit all the time. So, like, this isn't bad, but it's so obviously on rails that it just... eh. It just feels kind of awkward. It's kind of awkward. Where the hell do I go? I'll actually read the chat in a second. I'm trying to drive. You don't want to text. Don't text and drive. It can wait. What? I've got a text about Star Trek. I would rather die than not text about Star Trek. Now, Star Wars, on the other hand. Vare! Whatever a Vare is. Okay, so this is obviously not where we go. See, the Jeep just feels like I'm controlling a person in, like, a Jeep costume. It just doesn't feel like a vehicle. Okay, this is also not where to go. I'm going to blame the chat. I will tell you this. The one thing that really has not aged about the 1940s, other than fascism and government control, is the music. I never really got into the whole big band music. I always find it to be really, really boring and annoying. Which I guess is also kind of ironic because I like classic cinema, but whatever. No one ever said I was consistent. Smashy, smashy. Although I wonder how much damage a wrought iron gate like that would do to a Jeep. Let's see. Catching Devil. Not bad. Go-kart. Coming out to Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Okay. Stuff is lame, and yes they are. Could visit Texas for court. And yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to see here. What I really cared about was Tron Legacy. Yeah, Tron Legacy was pretty good.
Inside that house.
Take
He
Marcel.
might be.
We'll stand watch here.
Okay, one moment. Okay, good. Hello, DC-14. DC-14, wow. That's where my brain goes. DC-3, I should say. It's a DC-3 aeroplane. Okay, I do not want that crappy Lee Enfield. I mean, the Lee Enfield's great, but it was obsolete already in World War I. I have a Lee Enfield, it's great, but the Germans have a lot of MP40s, and I really don't want to get my head shot off. It's attached to me. What isn't attached to me, ladies and gentlemen, is of course the Halo TV series. That show just keeps getting worse and worse. I've tried to like it, but man. Ow, stop smacking me. I totally missed that guy. That's some CQB for you. But that show has been getting worse and worse. Like, they made Dr. Halsey a villain? Like, when did that happen? I actually reread the first 3 Halo books, and, oh dear, is that TV show... It's a sin. Even if you look at it as, like, its wholly own universe, it's also still pretty bad. It's quite sad, really. And they have, like, Master Chef fighting 2 Spartans in armor. I guess he could do that, but... The guy they got playing Master Chief, not only does he have a comically oversized nose... Actually, his nose isn't oversized, like, his nostrils are huge. You could drive a tank through that. But not only that, but he just doesn't act nearly, well, tough enough as the real Master Chief. Real Master Chief is not exactly unemotional, but he at least has more of a spine than that guy does. But there were some good elements from the latest episode. Not great, but some. Let's see. Halo the series makes Doom 2005. Actually, I will say that I would still rather watch Halo the TV series than Doom 2005. I fucking hate that movie. And I know people still... I know that people have a soft spot for that show, but good God do I hate it. I still hate that show all these years later. I mean, I have to say that it's almost as bad as Assassin's Creed the series. Not Assassin's Creed the series, Assassin's Creed the movie. Because Assassin's Creed the movie has to be the worst film I have ever willingly sat through. I can think of no movie that I've seen that is actually as bad as Assassin's Creed the movie. I always love how the excuses are made. It's like, the excuses that are made are like, oh, you just can't do a video game to movie transition. One moment, ladies and gentlemen. Please enjoy the background. Okay. And I have returned. The video game movie curse is always just a bit silly to me. If you actually had proper writing, you could easily adapt any of these video games to movies. But these movies are so poorly written, so poorly acted, that no wonder they're bad. No wonder they fail. At what time would Doom 2005 be considered a good movie? It's the same way with, like, Doom Annihilation, which I've tried to defend, and I do have a video defending it, but really, what would have made it a lot better is spend the budget on fewer characters, actually have Doom Guy in it and not Doom Girl. These are all obvious things that you would think people would figure out. You know, if you're gonna make an Assassin's Creed movie, actually have some assassinations in it. Don't spend 2 hours, no, it was an hour and a half before the main character, the Desmond equivalent, even knows what the plot is. Who paces a movie like that? Let's see, hold on. They completely butchered Chief's character. The Northman. I have not seen The Northman, mainly because I just never really cared that much about Vikings. I mean, I've heard that it's supposed to be good, but that's just not something I'd really sit through. I think I will have my grandfather watch that, then he can tell me if it's any good. Because he has a lower threshold of annoyance than, or a higher threshold of annoyance than I do. I think I almost shot my own guy. Halo TV series, but yeah, they do change the core content pretty bad. I'd say Doom Annihilation is still better than Doom 2005, because at least there's hell. Dr. Betruger exists. Demons are actually in the movie, and it's not just a bastardization of Resident Evil. Although I will say, like, the chick playing Doom Girl is not particularly attractive. She's way too skinny for my taste. It's like, seriously, eat food! It's like, it's not healthy to look like that. And the BFG in that movie looks like it literally is a 3D print, I think. Or no, it's probably not even 3D print, it's probably EVA foam. EVA foam is a lot lighter than 3D printings.
Major. Serial number 4587.
Oh yeah, we gotta actually open the- we can open the door ourselves! You can let me open the door, Corporal Keith? Why, thank you!
Good timing, Corporal. Let's get you out of here. For sure the boss heard that racket.
And yeah, the Duke Nukem 2001 source code. Oh my god, I can't wait for 5 years to pass before the game is made.
Speaking of racket.
I sincerely hope it can be completed quickly and well. I'll definitely do a review of it when it comes out. Dr. Halsey was more than morally gray. She was actually good. She gave Chief a challenge. Follow your orders and see Sergeant Johnson be killed.
I'm way ahead of you. We saved a bunch of Maquis from the firing squad on our way here.
The Jerry interrogating me bragged about torturing 3. Nothing about a firing squad.
Well, that was convenient.
Major!
Reunions can wait, Pierre.
3 more of your men are getting tortured as we speak.
Best if we split up. Good hunting.
Doyle, take the wheel.
Of course, you're gonna have me take the wheel. It's like I'm running, but I'm actually a Jeep. I'm gonna transform into a Jeep. Okay, that's hilarious. It's like he's playing with the machine guns. It's like, Marcel, could you, like, be a little serious? We're, like, kind of, like, fighting a war here. But yeah, Dr. Halsey gives Master Chief a challenge. Give information to Oni that will get Sergeant Johnson killed, or break your orders and just give them a little bit of the information. It's a major turning point for the Master Chief character, and shows that Dr. Halsey actually does care about humanity. Unfortunately, that got changed when 343 bought the franchise, and well, Dr. Halsey's been evil ever since, which is quite aggravating. Let's see. I honestly have to say that Duke Nukem Forever is one of the worst games I have ever played. I've considered doing a live stream of that, as I'm sure it would get the views, but that means I'd have to play the goddamn game. And I just don't know if I'm ready for that yet. That's one of those things where it would be nice if I had a co-commentator, but everybody is everywhere doing everything. So I'm kind of on my own for the foreseeable future. But one day I may force myself to play that absolutely horrible game. I can think of no worse game that I've willingly played than Duke Nukem Forever. Like, I absolutely despise every aspect of that game. As soon as I... Really? I'm just gonna smack you? Just launch that guy. It's the ragdoll physics, man. That is a really disgusting looking refrigerator. I don't think I'd want to eat anything out of there. Ooh, can I grab that shotgun? Okay, this shotgun is worthless. Because, like, it has no range, unlike real life. Let's see, can I pick that up? No, but why would they have a Winchester 1897 over the mantle? I'm just saying, that seems very unlikely. And this guy pumps this shotgun so slow, it's not even funny. It's like, in real life, when I was like 14 years old, I could pump a shotgun faster than that. You're telling me that Doyle here is weaker than me at age 14? It's like, dude, you need to eat like some Wheaties or whatever the 40s equivalent of Wheaties are, or like slam some steroids. Maybe that should help. Come on, blast him! Had Blasco and Doom Annihilation. They always do that. Resident Evil TV series is going to be bad on streaming. We shall see. It probably will be, because, well, the raccoons... Where did you teleport in from, dude? And can you get out of my way? No, just kind of like was floating through the air there. Better due to the more memorable cast, practical effects. Why did I run into demons? There was like 2. Let's see, hold on, Jack Reacher. I never really cared about Jack Reacher, so I haven't seen that. Playthrough of Duke Nukem Forever. Silver Wings, you are a much more strong individual than I am. I guess we can try that. Adding in a co-commentator is never an easy prospect. But, have to see about that, because that is a good idea. But, yeah, Duke Nukem... But see, that's the thing, though, Silver Wings. I still have to play the game. See, I was trying to have a nice out there by saying, oh yeah, I'd have to have somebody else. It's like, that means I still have to force myself to play that. With that absolutely abysmal gameplay, the story that is... the story that ruins Duke Nukem. It takes Duke Nukem from being sort of a, you know, off-color shooter hero and turns him into what I like to call Douche Nukem. And that has stayed with him ever since. It's like, Duke Nukem was just supposed to be kind of an arrogant guy, but not an actual douche. Like, on the cusp of douchiness. You know, it's like half a douche, you know, just the tube, not the actual bag. A douche tube, if you will. Hey, that's the best you get at 8 o'clock at night. Because I've been up since 3 in the fucking morning, because sleep is for the weak. Because who needs sleep, right? Just shoot up, you bastards! Why are you shooting at a wall? You got Lewis guns? Well, I want a Lewis gun, I just don't want to pay for it. Okay, we did not need to go here. Oh man, I am being shot to shit. You've got machine guns! We're not, you don't have to pay for the rounds. It's free! I mean, there's plenty of Mark 7 ammunition. It's 1940, whatever the hell it is, 44. You're right, no, you're other right. You mean left? I like how the Germans just disappeared. Oh, get back to your squad. Like you don't, if you don't go there in like 5 seconds, you die. Let's see. I don't want to play Duke Nukem Forever. Oh, you mean Duke Nukem Forever, the mod, right? Not the shit-tastic Gearbox game. Actually, it's not even shit-tastic. There's no tastic about it. I actually did play all the way through for that one review, the Doctor Who Cloned Me, and good God, that was awful. And Doctor Who Cloned Me was a little bit better than Duke Nukem Forever, too. It's like, I thought I was free of that game. I'm glad I'm not an angry reviewer. Let's see. Doom 3 is the greatest Doom game. I don't know if I'd say it's the greatest, but it is pretty good. It is high on my list of shooters. Blast him! Blast him! Stop smacking me! This is why you need detachable box magazines on your shotgun. Just saying. Which is precisely why I don't have a Saiga 12. Stop pumping it so slowly, good God. And the fun part about Duke lack the self-awareness rise. Yeah, Doctor Who Cloned Me was far better than the base game, and it was still terrible. It's like Duke Nukem Forever is basically just a bad movie turned into a game. Duke Nukem never really had the kind of, it needed to be fleshed out quite a bit more than it ever was. Is everybody dead over here? I think I have to go upstairs and find one random guy, and he'll teleport in. Really, the only problem with this game is the fact that it lacks some memorable moments like Medal of Honor Frontline, where you throw that guy off a balcony. That was still fucking hilarious. Oh no, don't tell me. There's like one German left alive, and he won't spawn it. And this guy won't open the door until I find and kill him. Ugh. This is the Xbox 360 version. Okay, there's gotta be a crowd somewhere. I'm literally just finding dead bodies everywhere. Don't tell me I have to do this all over again, because that guy wouldn't spawn in. Doom 3 is a decent game. It's more than decent! The Diplodosaurus. Newman! Okay, I'm gonna have to restart the, I'm gonna restart the level because... No, that's just not gonna open. Brilliant. Just brilliant. And now we gotta pray that it actually works. Goddamn Macwis. Looks like I'm actually a real gamer. Because I didn't die in the first 5 seconds. Okay, they'll clear that, or they'll just like shoot in their general direction. Come on, chuck it in there. And chuck that in there. I think they got him. I think. Jurassic Park Part 2. I've actually wanted to stream that. That's one of those things where you need a local co-op partner to do. And yes, I would use nothing but save states. All the save states, and sometimes even that doesn't help. The footage I got in that review was actually gotten fair and square, but good God was that tough to do. Could you guys, like, shoot the enemy? Could y'all do that, maybe? If not, why are you even here? Okay, so not hiding behind the bookcase. Are you over here? I wonder if that was the guy I had to trigger and I never did. Yeah, I have played Elden Ring, but I haven't gotten back to it. I played a few hours of it. I haven't got even close to the end. I just got so many other games to play. Recently, I've just been playing a bit of Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite? Not that bad, actually. I'm actually kind of enjoying the gameplay. But other than that, just not much of anything, just because not nearly enough time to devote to gaming. Okay, did that's gone? Yep, there he is.
Saved my life. Merci.
Better see.
Let's move on to the next
Better day, more like. A simplified guide, I might need that. Let's see here. Ark Survival Evolved. PS version is straight trash. Every time you get shot, the game freezes up. Wow. I wouldn't be surprised. But this thing would push the PS2 to its limits. And yes, I would agree that Doom 3 is way better than, wow, I just love he just teleports. Marcel, why can't you teleport normally? You know, why does it have to be, just whenever you feel like it? Yeah, I never really rated Half-Life 2 particularly high. I have played it, but only ever co-op with the co-op mods that exist. I'm just not a Half-Life fan. Never have been. For me, if I'm gonna play a first-person shooter from that time period, it will be Doom 3 or Time Splitter's Future Perfect. Which I do need to stream at some point. And yeah, the actual single-player gameplay is quite good on Halo Infinite. I mean, it's an open-world Halo game, and it plays really well. And Master Chief has his Halo 2, I was gonna say costume, has his Halo 2 armor, which I don't really like, but I can live with it. Master Chief is not Master Cheeks. That's the biggest problem I have with the Halo TV show. Did we really need Master Chief, you know, having sexual relations with somebody? I'm just saying, when I think Master Chief, I don't think, you know, Master Chief using his Spartan laser. I don't see that as a necessity, you know. When I was reading the Halo novels, rereading them over the last week, it's like, at no time did I need to know what Master Chief wanted to do with his Spartan laser. I did not need to know that. And besides, I gotta say, I'm not sure Spartans can even have the old sexy times, because, well, I don't think they could have sexy times with non-Spartans, because Master Chief not only weighs more than the average human, but he's far stronger. So I'm just saying that little waif is not gonna hold up to the Master Chief thrusting. I just don't. I don't see that happening. It's just yeah. It's still. It's like completely unnecessary. But whatever. They wanted to have like. I think it comes down to a lot of these showrunners want to have a Game of Thrones kind of popularity, and Halo is not Game of Thrones. It's like not at all. Smack him! Smack him! Come on! It's like he's in the bathroom.
Thanks. Au revoir.
Yeah, what was he doing in there? I don't think we want to know.
Let's get out of here before we run down.
Unreal 1998. I have not actually beaten Unreal the game. It's one of those games where it's very easy to get lost, and I just never really could be arsed to finish it. I mean, it's a good game. It's got a great soundtrack. The gameplay is great, but trying to figure out where to fucking go is almost as bad as Hexen. Let's just get to the Jeep and use the machine guns. Actually, they are using the machine guns. Wow, actually intelligent.
Let's get back to the courtyard.
Yeah, because it's not going to be filled with Germans. Could there be a character death? Mad TV parody was dating someone, they brought him to visit her parents. I never really rated Mad TV that high either, so I have very specific tastes for everything. Give some other cake and screw it too. Oh my. So intense. I played through a Hexa. Now that is an epic journey to say the least. That is one of those games that I have been able to complete co-op. And I actually enjoyed the game far more than I ever did Half-Life, so there's that. Do I have to listen to yappy dogs in this game too? I don't know what the deal is. You know. Oh, I actually reached the right. I thought, like, get back to your squad. What? Should we be someplace that's a lot more, you know, secure than just a fence made of wood? It seems very dangerous. Makes it tough. Quake reboot would be kind of neat. I haven't heard anything about that, but I mean, Quake 1 was something that was just kind of forgotten about. Quake 2 got a bunch of follow-ups. Well, I got one. Actually, no, I got a couple of action figures and stuff made for it, which is still kind of weird. Chuck grenade. Until they hired unfunny actors. That always happens. The only other Valve games that I actually like are Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, and that's about it. I just found the Half-Life to just be really boring. Oh my god, it's an armored car. I've already flanked it. I like how they tell me to take point when I'm already down here. Come on, you idiots. Isabel, you only have your fate but what you can make, but you're probably not gonna make it. I have no idea who Will Sasso is. Now, why don't you give me Why don't you just get... Oh, goddammit. I was trying to help you out. Why don't you give me the charges? And because I've got plot armor. See, I got shot a lot, and I'm okay. I'm just saying. Might be better if you, like, let me do that. I guess she's just one crazy-ass bitch. Well, I don't know. She's not really bitchy, so... Now, if you've never seen or heard of Rush Hour, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. Chris Tucker is at the top of his game, and Jackie Chan is as well. The fights aren't that great. A YouTuber that I watch somewhat frequently, Oliver Harper, did a video on that. Definitely recommend watching that. Nope, she didn't make it. Even though, if the plot armor I had, I could have done that. Wait, is that sexual harassment? I guess we better not do that. We might get canceled. And yep, this is a pretty good World War II cut. It's my second favorite. First favorite is still the original. The original, I feel like, has the best set pieces, and it has the M1 carbine. Still gives some degree of personality. Yeah, Gordon Freeman is boring, and let's face it, it's not that interesting of a universe. To me, Half-Life is basically the Starbucks coffee of the first-person shooter space, I guess you could say. Everybody says it's great, but when you actually sample it yourself, it's leaves something to be desired. And by cover me, you mean shoot everybody at once, even though all I've got is a single sub gun. Wait, did we get saved by the Air Corps yet? Oh my god, we got an achievement. You know, when the achievements came out, I of course didn't research them because I didn't care. But I had thought, like, the more achievements you got, like, you could buy something with the gamer points.
No!
I'm sorry, Marcel. She was a brave lass. Survived. Brave as any of you, Mackie.
Buck up, man! Are our men ready?
Can anyone be ready to march into hell?
That tank crew is running out of time, Sergeant.
Sir! Word from command. The Poles have taken Hill 262, but they lost the radio operator.
We got bigger problems than that, Private.
This adds to them, sir. Command wants us to send a radio operator to help the Poles.
Well, then get going!
Sir!
What are you waiting for? Mount Ormel is at least a day's drive away. Oh, Baron, I'm doing you a favor. One of our tank crew has gone missing. We're going off on a rescue. Oh, that's dangerous business. You wouldn't want any part of it.
I'm not a coward, Lieutenant. My job's to protect our radio, our only link to command and...
Now your job is to be the Poles radio. Dismiss, Private. You've got your orders, soldier.
You were a little hard on him, eh?
I've got bigger worries than that. Get ready to move out. We've got men waiting on us.
He's not gonna die dramatically. Oh wait, no, that's a spoiler, isn't it? See, Lieutenant just sounds so weird. Also, Bren Carrier! I don't know if I'd want to be riding around in a Bren Carrier. That just seems kind of conspicuous and not that well protected, just saying. It's like, how do you get Lieutenant from Lieutenant? I just don't know. The Brits, am I right? Milk and tea. That's just bizarre. Everybody knows you have to put lemon. It has to be cold. I mean, how else would you do it? Would you drink tea warm? That's just weird. It just sounds weird and foreign. Yeah, Gordon Freeman is just kind of... Yeah, he's got a beard. and a ponytail in some of the games. Despite me, like, shitting on Half-Life, I have played Half-Life 1, Blue Shift, Opposing Force, and Half-Life 1, or Half-Life 2. Oh crap. I like how I am literally immune to being driven over by a tank. That's plot armor. I've basically played all the Half-Life games co-op, because one of the friends I had a number of years ago was a big fan of the Half-Life games, and so I played it because of that guy. And that's the only time I've ever played them, and having played all of them, I didn't enjoy any of them. They were all boring as fuck. So, hell, I even played some of the PS2 game that got ported to the PC, thanks to the fans. And that was still awful. So it's one of those things where I can complain about it because I actually have played it. And it was pretty bad. It's kind of like I can still complain about Star Trek Discovery because I watched the first season of that god-awful show. You idiots, what are you doing? Also, MP44. Nothing that saved me. Let's see. Duke Nukem, Lo Wang, or Caleb. Lo Wang has the most development because he's like a ninja that decides to stop he's a ninja that decides to stop fighting for evil and become good. So it's kind of interesting. And Lo Wang also had 2 books. 2 of all the things. Shadow Warrior books. And yes, I have both of them. Why would I not? Are you surprised at this? Worthless bolt action. But yeah, and the Shadow Warrior books are remarkably not bad. Like, they are remarkably worth reading. You wouldn't think it. It kind of makes me want there to be a Duke Nukem book. Because I wonder what a Duke Nukem book would be like. Like, what would Duke Nukem's backstory be? You know, like, what characters would there be? Because, like, Duke Nukem lacks a backstory and characters. It's like, is Duke Nukem some kind of super soldier? Does he work for the actual military? Is he a mercenary? We don't know. Caleb would also make for a fairly good protagonist as well, I think. Sorry, Sergeant Killard. I just kind of, like, shot you with a bunch of MP44 rounds, but whatever. See, hold on. That's probably the first... Yeah, the Canadians. The back bacon. It's like, Canadian bacon is great on a pizza. It's about the only thing I know about Canada other than the Ross rifle. And I'm about as far from Canada as you can possibly get. Let's see. Counter-Strike started as a Half-Life mod. I played a lot of Counter-Strike. Don't play certain games. The only way I could have played Half-Life 1 or 2 is co-op, because I've tried playing them half a dozen times by myself, and I found them so boring, I just kind of quit, like, not even halfway through. Would you people stop ambushing me? I will smack you with your own Mauser. It'll be sold on the US civilian market. And people in 2022 will pay thousands of dollars for them. Just to play emulated arcade games. Yeah, this COD is somewhat difficult. Not as difficult as 1 or 2. Duke Nukem had an abusive father and absent mother. Oh my. Parody of an action hero. Half-Life and co-op. Yeah, Sven co-op is what I played Half-Life in. And Sven co-op's pretty good. I mean, it's just one of those things. The only way I could ever have played Half-Life is with somebody else. Because it's just not my game. Not my game at all. Now, a game that has tacked on co-op that I really enjoyed was Doom 3. Doom 3 and the original Dooms are still really, really fun co-op, even to this day. Especially with mods like Project Brutality and all the rest. Although getting those things to work is not the easiest.
Sergeant, good to see you're well.
No thanks to Jerry. Much thanks to your man here.
Cole's a good man. Is this all of you who made it?
Jerry took prisoners. They're being held in a tavern up away, flanked by 42s. We couldn't get near
Can't
it.
say John reading a bedtime story.
Cole,
Get those doors open.
Opera or Oprah? I do not know. He likes the Opera browser. Only lame people use that. Okay, so I think we have to hold a tavern or something. Wait, are we in the tavern? No, we're not in the tavern yet. Okay, I should actually pay somewhat attention. You must survive private bunting, otherwise no one's gonna use it. You've created a time paradox. Oh, crap. Yeah, the MG42s. Which, thankfully, won't target me. I like how he says 42s. I don't know why, he just says it in such a delightful way. Hey, I've got the equivalent, right? Because this is... the Bren gun is totally as good as the MG42. It's gotta be. Some random British guy said it was. Hello, Corey. When it comes to Duke Nukem, I think if you were going to write a novel based on Duke Nukem, you could make it a parody, or you could make it serious. I mean, you consider, you know, what if you had Duke Nukem, like he's the last of a squad or something, and he becomes very cynical, and he uses his quips and jokes to keep himself somewhat sane. You could make it serious and have it still be good. But I would like Duke Nukem to have like a legitimate backstory, but don't make it too serious. Now, let's see, I don't know if, yeah, that's how PFC Douglas got over there, I do not know. I guess that's why he's first class. Okay, where is that stupid machine gunner? Oh, he's up there. That's why I never can find him. Try to get that in through the window. And missed. Oh, shut up, Collard. Of the Clan Collard. Wait, is that Scottish? What's the difference? Let's see. Based on the thing. You know, I've never played that game, and to be honest, from the videos I've seen on it, it doesn't look that great. So I might do a stream of it, maybe if there's enough fan desire for me to do so, but it's hard for me to get too enthused. Alright, so after we beat this level, I'm gonna call it a day, because I am tired. Sleep is for the weak. Back up! Get to the tavern! Most tavern. I'm gonna pull your eyeballs out through your... never mind.
Gather up weapons and ammo. Take up positions. Someone cover that window.
Sir!
What is it?
Well, we got what we came for, sir. The tank crew and me, and I was
Spit
wondering...
it out, Private. I'm on the clock
I
here.
was wondering why we aren't bugging out here, sir.
Because we are
Science
taking this town.
textbook.
I thought we don't have the manpower, sir.
Give those tankers guns, and we do. Look, the Polish are stranded up on Mount Ormel, trying to hold onto that hill with both hands. They'll need reinforcements that'll have to move through this town to get there. You understand?
The only problem, Collard, is you're not holding your rifle, or your machine gun. You're kind of holding it like that wasn't designed for your model. I don't think these guys would be that close to this, because that seems kind of dangerous. Just saying. Just saying. But the thing about the thing is, I actually got to see that in a movie theater. They showed it at Alamo Drafthouse many, many years ago at an 80s night. That was a very good night. I still remember that over a decade after it was there. Seeing that in an actual movie theater with other film nerds was quite a bit of fun. Sadly, Alamo Drafthouse I don't think really does that much anymore. There are a lot of Gruselsteins here. I know nothing about Phineas and Ferb other than one random video I saw about what was Professor something or other doing in the 1940s. It's like it insinuating that he was a Natsock, which was funnier than it should have been. Along with what were the Minions doing? Oh my. Another franchise I know nothing about or have any interest in. Although I will say I like the name Druzelstein. It just sounds kind of hilarious. One of the peaceful E.T. aliens. The E.T. aliens were always creepy to me. I never even liked E.T. Even as a kid. I found that movie boring as fuck. It's like, phone home. I got your phone home right here, you filthy Xeno. See, you know, the funny thing about John St. John is he also voiced Biggs the Cat from, Sonic Adventure. So, like, if he complained about reading a science textbook, it's like, okay, but which is worse, that or Big the Cat? I'd rather read about the laws of thermodynamics than a fucking cat. It's annoying. I've also seen that one too about Mr. Krabs. I actually got to see They Live in the in theaters as well. Although not at an 80s night. They Live is a bit slow though. And kind of forgettable compared to The Thing. Let's see, I didn't know they had one in Kansas City. But yeah, I used to go to Alamo Drafthouse like almost every week. Which is why I had very little money, because that place is expensive. Went recently, back in March, when the Batman came out. I actually dressed up as the Batman to go see the Batman. Needless to say, people were quite impressed by the Batman costume. Although it was kind of hot and uncomfortable. God damn it. I blame the Batman. Never saw Prince of Darkness, but I have seen In the Mouth of Madness, which I really quite enjoyed, even if it did feel like a cheap cable TV movie. My two favorite John Carpenter films will be The Thing and Big Trouble in Little China. Like, I really, really like Big Trouble in Little China. That is a classic action film. Like, eminently quotable, and just looks really cool. I'm sure it inspired Raiden to some extent in Mortal Kombat. I gotta specify which Raiden it is, because there's Raiden from Metal Gear Solid Revengeance. The Void. Yes, I have. A bit slow, but not too bad. That was back in the glory days of Netflix, before they became, well, insanely woke. They're like, Netflix, it'll be movies made by movie people. Nope, not anymore. Damn it. Goddamn Germans. Event Horizon, yeah, I've seen that a million times. I saw it when it came out. Escape from New York's pretty depressing. There actually is a lot of backstory to that movie in the novel, where there is a World War III and most of America is insane due to some kind of like nerve gas attack. The only problem with like Escape from New York is it's such a depressing series. It's like everything just keeps going from bad to worse, and nobody wins in that. Escape from LA was just a bad movie all around. Like, I absolutely despised Escape from LA. He's commenting on the right when he's... Yeah, John Carpenter's kind of interesting in that he doesn't really know what he's talking about half the time. The Void is one of those movies that you would only want to really watch it once, because it tries to be deep, but it doesn't really do anything with its concepts. One thing I found about Netflix movies is a lot of times it just takes place in like one room with a character talking to one thing. Like Tao, where it's basically just one chick in a house talking to a computer. That's it. That is such a cheap way to make a movie, and yet that movie was, well, somewhat compelling. But there was like another one. I didn't really notice it at first, but then I watched that and some movie with Katie Sackhoff, once again, talking to a computer in one room. It's just kind of hilarious how they reuse that concept over and over again. Big MILF and Little, oh my. Ghost of Mars. Yeah, I have seen Ghost of Mars once, and yeah, it was pretty awful. Like, it was just, it was legitimately a bad movie with no redeeming qualities at all. Not quite as bad as, say, the Ass Creed movie. And as for the Halo TV series, yeah, it's reached peak terrible. I tried to pretend like it wasn't a Halo show and try to enjoy it for its own merits, but now, you know, having Master Cheeks, you know, engaging in the sexual intercourse was just, like, really, was that necessary? And they're doing that because, well, they did it in the, oh yeah, we gotta get the crowbar. Where the crowbar is, I don't know. Why we need to do the whole crowbar thing, I don't know, but we have to, because, reasons. Let's just pretend this is a Wiimote and we're waggling it around. It's like, oh my god, motion controls! But yeah, Master Cheeks really did not need to engage in the old sexy times. Especially with an enemy agent. Like, you could have had like a lot of drama where if like Cortana possessed somebody, you know, and kind of like that movie with the guy who played the Joker recently, where like he was dating his phone. That was a weird movie. I forget what it's called, but literally, because it's weird because I could see it happening. There's some movie where this guy's got an intelligent phone. I watched it like 10 years ago, I think. But it creeped me out. It's like this guy literally dates his phone. His phone's like super intelligent. It stars a pre-famous, oh, where the hell that guy? Joaquin Phoenix, yeah. The guy that dated his phone.
Hurry! Don't have much time.
Her. I'm gonna assume that's the one.
Move it, Cole. Set those charges.
But still, though, it was such a creepy movie because I know that's coming. Like, I know that's gonna be a thing very soon where people are gonna date their, like, phones or their, like,
Move it, Cole. Set those charges.
social media things. It's like, good God, people, just go find a female. They exist. Females aren't perfect, but they're better than dating your phone. I don't think you can... Some phones don't even have a 3.5-inch jack.
What's wrong?
Fuse must be defective. Wait here.
Sergeant, no, wait!
If the fuse is defective, the chargers are defective, and we're all dead.
Jonathan! Jesus.
He's okay. Lieutenant!
Oh, good. Go. Can you stand up there, Private?
Steady there.
No, we thought we lost you for a moment there, like, we lost Calajo. I'm putting it in for the Victoria Cross, you know? And you for a promotion, Corporal. All right. Someone get on the radio to command. They can start moving armor through Saint-Lambert. Let's get some reinforcements to the Polish, eh?
Taking the mace is one thing. Now we have to hold it.
Let's go keep on fighting! Get to...
All right, I'll answer the last couple of chats. Galaxy of Terror, yeah. We all know the worm scene, and we've seen worm sign, the likes of which God doesn't want to see. Trying to be pretentious for the sake of it, and yes, they can be. Especially those Oscar bait things. In love with his car, and yeah, Master Chief, human-alien relations. That'll probably happen at some point. And the FP, I'll have to take a look at that. But until next time, I'm GeneralLotz, and I'll wish you good real Halo, or whatever makes you happy.